Hi everyone, welcome to another masterclass. So today I'm going to be sharing my presentation as per usual. And the class is about saying sayonara, inflammation, and hello, self-care. And so what you learn in this presentation is the importance of cleansing your body and giving your digestive system a break. Then we're going to talk about the organs that we're going to focus on this week. So that will be the colon and the lungs. If you've done a cleanse with me in the past, you know that I like to focus our cleansing weeks depending on the season that we're in. So this time it's about the colon and the lungs. Now, we are also going to talk about why calories don't count and the water-soluble vitamins, B and C. And the B vitamin, it's very important for digestion. That's why I recommend the methylated B supplement. And then the C vitamin I call it the stress vitamin, and we're going to know why. Then we're going to be discovering the ways that you can realign yourself this week, really connect to who you really are, and most importantly, how can you do real self-care. So we're gonna jump right into it. Let's see if I can, yeah, there we go, it's even better. So the importance of giving your digestive system a break. All of our organs are working, I wouldn't say 24/7, but especially the digestive system. Anytime you eat something, anytime you drink something, our digestive system is working. And our digestive system, it takes between 24 to 48 hours to process foods. So what I mean by really giving it a break is we're going to eliminate some of the foods that are that take longer to digest, and we're going to try to give it in a very in the best digestible way possible. So we are going to be eliminating most of the processed foods, which we've already been doing in the process. We're also eliminating animal protein, which is also a kind of food that takes a lot of time to process. And we're also going to be using or taking a supplement that is the intestinal drawing formula to help us cleanse the colon and move out some of the toxins and some of the food that we've been eating, and that might be stuck in the in your digestive system. So a fall cleanse in Chinese medicine, fall is the season to cleanse the colon and the lungs. So the colon, as I mentioned before, is your long intestine, and it goes, if you put your hand under your belly button, that's where the small intestine is. But you can imagine that this long intestine goes around, coming up from the left side and then going around your body. So it is important for you to know where the colon is, so that when you do feel some kind of pain or inflammation, you know what organ it's kind of like associated with this. So in order to help cleanse the colon, we're going to be adding a lot of fiber. We're going to be eating in a way that is great to move things out and remove toxins. And also we're going to be taking the intestinal form, the IDF, as I call it, intestinal drawing form, to help us cleanse some of the foods that we're eating. So also, it is important to cleanse the lungs. That's why this week we're going to be applying an important breathing technique that I'm going to share with you a little bit later. And when our lungs aren't cleansed, it's usually a sign that we can have either allergies, bronchitis, asthma, sinusitis, night sweats, fatigue, skin issues is very related also to the lungs, rashes, cracked lips, and itchy skin. So this is an important time also to bring a little bit more consciousness of the way we breathe. Ideally, you want to breathe using the your entire lungs, so the three parts of the lungs, from the bottom, from the middle to the upper part of the lungs. And I'm going to teach you how to do that a little bit later. So this week is really about focusing on cleansing the colon and the lungs. Now, what is the ideal combination this week? What are some of the foods that we're going to be eating? Ideally, on Mondays, you do fruits and veggies and also beans. So anything that it's whether it is chickpeas or beans or veggies or fruits, all of that, it's allowed on Monday. On Tuesday, we're going to remove the grains and we're just going to do fruits and veggies. And then Wednesday should be our liquid day. So things that are usually easier to digest in a liquid format, right? Our stomach or our gut is able to absorb the nutrients if it's in a liquid form, at least easier, in an easier manner. And then on Thursday, we're going to go back to fruits and veggies. And then Fridays, fruits, veggies, and beans. Now, if you're following the protocol, you shouldn't have a problem because all the meals are aligned with this combination. And so we are living away, or we're doing this week without any animal protein or any grains. Okay, so even if you decide to do your own meals, just keep this in mind. It's going to be very important. Also, ideally, you want to stay away from eating at restaurants, eating outside, because you never know what kind of oils are they using. If they're using too much oil, if you are a master cleanser, and I know there's some of you out there, meaning that you've done cleanses before, you participated with me in cleanses before, you really want to make sure you cooked most of your meals at home. You want to try to cook with little salt as possible, as less salt as you can, just a little bit of pepper, and truly eliminating all processed foods, even from making your own cashew milk, making your own bread, which we've been doing. So really trying to go to the whole grain as much as possible, to the whole kind of to the whole food really. So if you're a master cleanser, I would recommend that you go no salt, no oils, no processed foods, even your milk, make it your own, and 100% meals cooked at home. If you're a little bit more intermediary, it's okay for you to add a little bit of oil, a little bit of salt and pepper. Pepper is fine, by the way. But the salt, if things are too salty, we're going to retain liquid, and that's going to make us feel inflamed. So that's not ideal. On the contrary, we want to say bye-bye to inflammation, and that's why when we eliminate salt, really the inflammation goes away. So I want to challenge you to really try to push yourself this week to give your best, focus on whole foods, focus on eating at home as much as you can, and very simple meals. You're really going to reap the benefits of this cleansing at the end of the week as you feel more energized, more focused, definitely less brain fog, and hopefully lighter. Now, on another topic, I thought this was very good to touch on, especially this week, because we've been all ingrained this concept of calories, right? So we should eat 2,000 calories depending on your body texture, and then if you want to lose weight, then you should starve yourself and do less, and that way you're going to be in a bikini in 3 weeks from now. And so that doesn't really work like that, as you know, because at the end of the day, you will be bouncing back from these yo-yo diets if you're only focusing on cutting calories. So what you have here on the right-hand side, it's a graph that shows you how 200 calories can be either almost 600 grams of broccoli or 50 grams of gummy bears. Almost 1,425 grams of celery or a Coca-Cola. An apple or a little bit of peanut butter. Melon, 500 grams versus salted mixed nuts. So the reason why I put this here is for us to understand that, and you probably know this by now, that calories shouldn't be the way we eat. We shouldn't be looking at packages and looking at calories. We should be eating whole foods, and whole foods don't come in packages. So I love this saying, and I don't remember whose quote it is, but the moment you stop reading labels, it's when you stop dieting. And that's just the reality of it. If you look at all the recipes that we're using, most of it are going to come from a whole food. So there's no need for us to look at any kind of like ingredients list, because it is a whole food or packages. So I wanted to make sure to mention that different calories do different things in different bodies. So depending on your metabolism, you can eat really bad food, or not that great food, and then really have a very fast metabolism and never really feel that you've gained weight or feel bloated or feel inflamed. But that is affecting you in the way you are nurturing your bodies. Because if you're eating a lot of empty calories, and the term empty calorie comes from getting zero nutritional value, but just getting the calories from either oils or sugar, then you're going to be essentially excess in calories, deficient in nutrition, and you're going to have more cravings. So the whole point of this slide is that even though everybody's different, it is what we're trying to do is maximize the amount of nutrition per calorie that we consume. And the way we do that is to consume very nurturing meals, or meals that are packed with vitamins, nutrients, minerals, phytonutrients, and that's what we're trying to focus on. So an example is great, for instance, an apple versus cookies. So think about a car. When you need to you fuel your car, and that's what we do with food. We need food to fuel our bodies. It is our fuel. It is not supposed to be there to make us feel great, to make us comfort ourselves, to bring us comfort. It might do that, but the primary reason why we eat food is really to help us have energy. And so if you have a car and then let's say you need fuel, and so you go to the gas station and then you put the worst gas ever, that is like putting sand in your car. If you put an apple, that will be like the highest, like the most costly, most refined, like better quality of oil, of fuel or gas. Versus if you do cookies, it's like putting sand in your car, which will probably damage it right away. So the same thing, if we're putting an apple in our body, it has the fiber, it has, if we do a little bit of peanut butter, almond butter, we'll have the fat, it will have some of the fructose that we need in our bodies, in our cells to continue working, versus cookies, which it feels like it's probably going to be processed flours, processed sugar, refined flour, where you are removing all the nutrients from this kind of food. So think about that as we go through this week and you start feeling cravings about this, that, the other. This is a week of fueling our bodies with the best quality of ingredients that we have and giving it to our bodies in the most digestible way. Now, let's talk about some water-soluble vitamins. In another lesson, we talked about the fat-soluble vitamins. And today, I want to touch on vitamin C and vitamin D, specifically because vitamin C is a stress hormone, and vitamin D is used in a lot of our digestive processes. So we're going to touch on that. And you're probably eating, or you're probably having the vitamin D supplement. So we're going to understand why is it good for us right now. So vitamin C are really helpful when it comes to supporting the adrenals, antioxidants, antihistamine, production of collagenals or collagen. What I also think about when I think about vitamin C is the fact that, like I mentioned, it is the stress hormone, or the stress vitamin, sorry. So if you are feeling stressed out, and if you have that you have a very stressed work week coming up, the first thing where the adrenals are going to pull from will be the vitamin C from our bodies. And so that's when you're starting to get sick. What we tell people is just to start drinking a lot of vitamin C. So since vitamin C supports our adrenal glands, which are the stress glands, usually have you realized that if you have a project, like you've had a very busy week, and then you're like on, and then at the end, once you're done with the project, you get sick, it's because we were already drained all the vitamin C. There's nothing left. And now your body's kind of like giving up. Your defenses are down. Your immune system is down. You've depleted all of your body from vitamin C. And so you get sick. So what are some of the sources of vitamin C? We would think that oranges will be there, but it's not. It's not the top source of vitamin C. The actual top, it's a lime. You also have a bell pepper there, grapefruit, papaya. It's funny how we've been brainwashed to think that vitamin C orange, when in reality there are a lot of other sources that have much more vitamin C versus just the orange that we have thought about, or that have been implanted in our brains for years. Now, how do you know that you have deficiency of vitamin C? You can have bleeding gums, poor wound healing, bruising, depression, low immunity. So if you get sick very often as well. Now, what happens if you drink too much vitamin C? And so this has never happened to me, but I have a friend that just drank too many packages of vitamin C, and then you just get diarrhea, and that's your body telling you, hey, too much vitamin C. So you can also feel nausea, but it's not a major issue if you do eat too many or have too many vitamin C's in your body. Now, vitamin B's. Vitamin B's, or the complex of vitamin B's, are key to many of our functions. And the reason why you're having a methylated vitamin B, it's because it is kind of like a pre-digested vitamin B complex, so it is easier to absorb. A lot of the times we are able to eat different foods that have the vitamins and minerals that we need, but our bodies or our digestive system is not strong enough to absorb it and to process it. So it is good to work on our gut before we start adding a bunch of vitamins that we're not able to absorb. So we have been working in our gut. Now it's a good moment for us to start. We've been having vitamin B. And also I would recommend that don't just do, and I think I talked about this, it is not ideal just to have like a package of vitamins. It is great if you can look at your panels, look at your blood exams, and then see what's missing, and then deficiency to sufficiency, start to supplement from that perspective. Also, if you feel certain kind of symptoms, it's a good way to start thinking about different good quality vitamins. Start with the foods first, see if you feel better, and then start thinking about supplementing. But for now, we're just going to do vitamin B because, again, it's one of the ones that it is necessary for gastrointestinal issues. And we're going to start with vitamin B1, thiamine. The functions, it's great for energy production, mental development, nerve function, and deficiency, it's GI issues, as I highlighted in there. Also, memory loss, depression, and some of the sources of vitamin B will be brewer's yeast, sunflower seeds, Brazil nuts, avocado, black beans. So really key. What you have there, it's a picture of a man that actually suffers from vitamin B deficiency, and so you can see how he's not really able to walk in a nice manner or regularly. So what we're trying to do is try to avoid that by having a lot of foods that are rich in vitamin B's. In terms of vitamin B2, riboflavin, some of the functions, again, energy production, recycles glutathione. Glutathione is a key antioxidant, and so we want to make sure it gets recycled in our bodies. It also maintains vision, hair, skin. You can find them, again, in brewer's yeast, in mushrooms. You have cremini mushrooms there, nori, which is a seaweed, eggs. And some of the key signs of a deficiency will be when you feel inflamed. So feeling inflamed is one of the keys. Also, eye sensitivity, hair loss, issues with your eyes, cataracts, all of this. Now, moving on to vitamin B3, some of the functions here will be energy production. Again, vitamins B's are very related to energy, and you probably have noticed how your energy is more stable as you have your vitamin B, and that's why it's usually recommended to have it in the morning. Don't have the vitamin complex in the afternoon, because then you will be going and going and going at night. So great way for you to have energy. So vitamin B3, it helps with the formation of red blood cells. It reduces the cholesterol, DNA production, stimulates circulation. Sources: chicken, salmon, cremini mushrooms, again, sunflower seeds, brown rice. And then some of the deficiencies that we have with vitamin 3 will be dry skin, fatigue. Again, it comes back to energy production. Depression, stores as well. And then, so let's just move over to vitamin B5. So vitamin B5, again, related to functions, energy production, adrenal support, healthy skin. It synthesizes hemoglobin. And what are some of the sources? The coffee liver, sunflowers, cremini mushrooms, brewer's yeast, some split peas. And then vitamin B5 deficiency, again, fatigue is one of them. And then digestive issues is also one of them, as I highlighted there. Hypoglycemia, reduced immunity. Moving on to vitamin B6. Vitamin B6, it is important for the production of amino acids, production of red blood cells, detoxification. Also, if you're pregnant, for the fetus nervous system growth. The sources of vitamin B will be calf liver, eggs, again, sunflower seeds. And so people, if you are vegan or vegetarian and you're not necessarily taking care of your vitamin Bs, because these vitamin Bs, as I mentioned here, vitamin B5 as well, vitamin B3, chicken, salmon, a lot of them can come from animal sources. And so if you're not watching your vitamin B levels, and then this could become a problem for you. And I believe it is vitamin. We're going to talk about B9, which is folic acid, and folic acid is the number one vitamin deficiency in the world. So we're going to talk about that after. But the key here is, even if you're a vegetarian, B12 is also very important for you to have, because it can only be obtained in animal products. So this is why they recommend that you have a vitamin B complex. But we're going to talk about that once we get there. So vitamin B7, biotin, metabolizes the fats, synthesizes DNA, RNA, formation of new tissues is important. Vitamin B7 can be found in almonds, egg yolk, brown rice, Swiss chard. Vitamin B7 deficiencies, if your tongue swallows, if you have nausea, if you have skin conditions, pale complexity, anorexia as well. And it can be found here, as I mentioned before, in almonds as well. Now, vitamin B9, as I was mentioning, it is the number one deficiency in the planet in terms of vitamins. It is so important because it helps us utilizing the protein in our body, developing our nervous system. It helps reduce, it's key for the nervous system development. And it can be found in calf liver, in lentils, in black beans, but in a lot of greens as well. So why is it the number one vitamin deficiency in the world? Is because a lot of people don't have access to fresh produce, like spinach, like collard greens, like things that are green, which is where we find folic acid. And so if we can do whatever we can to help bring this kind of like produce to more people, we're going to be eliminating this deficiency, and then help people live healthier lives. We're so lucky to be in a place in which we can go to a supermarket, go to Whole Foods, and find nice quality organic greens so that we can get our folic acid. Now, how do you know if you have a deficiency in folic acid? Some of the things that can happen is you become depressed, you have fatigue, you have mouth ulcers, you have osteoporosis, red, shiny, smooth tongue as well is one of the key here. Now let's talk about vitamin B12. Vitamin B12, like I mentioned, is one of the hardest ones to get for vegetarians and vegans. If you see here the sources, beef, sardines, salmon, eggs. So it is key that we are thinking about our vitamin Bs, and that we are aware that if we are going to have more of a vegetarian vegan diet, depending on whatever works for you, you are supporting yourself with these kind of vitamins. So vitamin B12 supports the nervous system as well, energy production, stimulates growth and appetite. I mentioned already the sources, and then the deficiencies: anemia, pale skin, you feel fatigue, mental slowness, neurological issues. So we are done with the vitamins that are soluble in water, so vitamin C and K, just as a refresher. Now, let's talk a little bit about the breathing technique. Now, the breathing technique that you are going to be doing this week, and it's something that I wanted to talk about this week, is about taking time for yourself. It's about staying at home if you want, going to bed early, waking up early if you can, and waking up with the sunrise will be ideal. If you've done a program, a cleanse with me, you know that this is what I like to do in fall. So what we're going to be focusing on this week specifically is a breathing technique to help you stabilize your feelings, connect with yourself. It's really about this state of being stable. And that's so key because when there is a lot going on outside, as we get closer to the holidays, people want to see you, they have Christmas parties, Thanksgiving, then we tend to be like this. So I want to teach you this breathing technique so that you can feel stable as we go into the holidays. And you can do this before having your meals, when you feel anxiety, when you feel like stressed out, anything that brings you from this level of stability up and down, you can use this breathing technique for. So also the reason why we want to do the breathing technique is so that we can bring mindfulness into our bodies and we can be present, because breathing is one of the things that we do without realizing, just like our heart beats without us telling it to beat. But breathing is the one thing that we can control if we wanted to be conscious. And so by training your breath, you're also going to be training your ability to be present and to be mindful of your body and your thoughts, which is going to be helpful to develop your healing mindset. As you become more aware of your thoughts, you become more aware of the decisions that you make for your body, for food, and also how do you react. So this is key. Now, in terms of how do you do this exercise? You're going to inhale, and then you're going to pick a number. If you're starting with this, I will recommend that you do counts of 5. So you're going to inhale in 5, hold for 10, exhale in 5, and stay without air for 10 seconds as well. And then you inhale again in 5. Again, if 5 is too much for you, then go to 4. If 4 is too much for you, then do 3. Do this 3 times. And then I just want you to notice how you feel afterwards. You can journal how you feel, but the idea is to bring that stability to your mind or to your state. And then the daily little by little habit for this week, it is about self-care this week. It's about taking a little bit of a step back, taking care of us, eating amazing food, giving our body a break. The idea is for you not to work out extremely hard this week. Also, just if you can just do yoga will be ideal. Take walks, very, very relaxing type of a week. And this is the little by little habit. So the idea is that you're going to wake up and ask yourself the question, how are you doing? We don't answer this question enough. And if we do, it's very quick in a way. It doesn't necessarily, we don't put the time to think about how we are and to ask ourselves this question. And then the next question is, what do I need for me to be better? What do I need for me to show up as my healthiest self? So that means that I am going to need to wake up earlier or do my breathing technique before I eat a meal, or make sure I prep my lunch before I go to work, whatever it is that you need to do. But first I want you to understand how you're feeling. If you're tired, you need to go to bed earlier. If you feel annoyed, you need to find out why and have that kind of conversation with yourself, because that is really self-care, is going through the process and understanding what do we need to take care of ourselves. Now, if you want, also recommend that you take long showers, do a massage, that you spend time just cuddling in your bed and reading books, whatever it is. My ask for you this week is to focus on eating healthy, delicious fall meals that are in the program, in the protocol, and that you take some time to rest and to connect with yourself with the different activities that we have here for you. Okay, so that is that. I hope the masterclass was helpful. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next class. Bye.